is the youngest trader I have ever come across. He is, you can't believe, 14 years old, and he is rocking the scene.
It's revolutionary. There's nothing that has been like this before.
How did you get that right knowledge?
Right now, don't look at the prices. Focus on the technology.
Why money was attracting you? What was the drive?
You know, once you actually hold some crypto, you're risking something. This is the next big thing. If I get in now, then it's going to be crazy in the future. It will recover. Eventually, it will recover.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. This is Cypher podcast, and I'm your host, Viktor Zaman, KOL manager for Cypher Capital. I'm pleased and welcome for CryptoEfe. He is the youngest trader I have ever come across. He is, you can't believe, 14 years old, and he is rocking the scene of blockchain and wherever I come across. To be honest, I met him on Binance Blockchain Week through the common friend who introduces to me. Shout out to him. His name is James, Crypto Guru. Where did you begin? You're only 14 years old.
So first of all, thank you so much for having me, man. Honestly, it's a pleasure being here. It's a great experience. And I believe in the long term, this will be a beautiful podcast. So congrats on that. So as you guys know, I'm 14 years old. So it's, how can a 14-year-old, get into crypto? You can't really legally even trade. So how is he doing this, So, I first started, I was about 12, I was 12 years old. So that's the first time, I started researching blockchain and researching about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I realized that you can actually trade this and you can make a lot of money. And I was very interested in like stock market and whatever, but because it moved, yeah.
Let me just dive into that. Like, how come, like, as a 12 years older, you can be interested in this kind of monetary system? Like, let's start from the beginning. Okay. You are born in Turkey, right?
I was born in Turkey. I've lived there for 1.5 years, and then I came to Dubai. Yes.
With the parents, you moved to Dubai. So, what was the year?
I think it was 2009. And
okay.
there was nothing in Dubai
Bitcoin,
back then.
Right?
Yeah, born of Bitcoin.
Born of Bitcoin.
Born of Bitcoin, born of crypto.
So tell me, and then what? Like, your parents give you a normal education. You started the school. Mm-hmm. How did you come, like, with your social life? Who was your friends? And then that you will start explaining us about the crypto journey.
Sure. When I came here, there was nothing much in Dubai, like, believe it or not, but in 10 years, this place changed a lot. So when I came here, I actually lived in another emirate called Sharjah. And, I just went to a normal, I went to nursery, then foundation, then primary school.
You have to really come on from the beginnings.
But it was nice. I had, I was good in social life. I like spending time with my friends. I was focused in school, studying, and everything was normal. And I wanted to be an actor. I had a passion for acting in theater. So that was my main passion, and that's what I wanted to do in life. And, I did so many shows in Dubai and, acting. And so that was my main plan before I met crypto. So.
And then, like, when you meet crypto, but like the crypto is a little bit upgrade on the complete monetary system. So why money was attracting you? What was the drive?
So first of all, I didn't even know what the monetary system was, to be honest. I've only found out about how screwed the monetary system is like 6 months ago. And then, which is what, said that Bitcoin, okay, this is going to be huge. Because you immediately understand after reading and knowing about the monetary system that, that it's just printing money, a bunch of zeros on the screen, that, Bitcoin is a limited supply and, it's going to revolutionize everything. But, I first became interested. I was actually like, I always wanted to have my own business because my dad, he works as well. And every time, he comes back from home, he used to talk to me about his business and about finance and everything. So that's why from like an early age on, I was very interested in like, visiting my dad's workplace and like, talking about finance and whatever. So
better to go to the your parents' office than like going on the fitness, some kind of playground.
No, back then I used to like, I used to play basketball, like, every week training and whatever, but I wasn't much, I didn't know so much about, because I was like, 9 years old back then. So exactly. So, but then I always had this, thing in my head. I want to be an entrepreneur and, have a business. So after a few years, I started my first sneaker reselling business.
Wow.
So I saved up money from acting. So I also did like voice acting, like مرحبا بكم في دبي opera, you know.
Wow, very
so,
impressive.
so I saved up some money from there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sell sneakers. So I started ordering sneakers from the US, and I brought it here, and I try to do an e-commerce business, but
How was your friends thinking about when you were wanted to start this business, first of all?
I actually like when I first started it, it was on Instagram, and I didn't really have like a following or an audience. So I just told my friends like, "Do you want to buy sneakers?" And do you want to,
But how did they react actually? Like, what
like
was were they supportive or?
they didn't have a reaction. Like I think there was more jealousy because they were like, you know what? Okay, fine, I'm gonna do it as well. So
Okay.
there was a bit of that, and that's
Competition.
partly
That's normal, yeah.
that's partly why I don't talk to my friends about
Interesting.
crypto right now. So
Because it's gonna be up again another competition. Nobody can beat you. You're too ahead already.
There is that thing. Yeah.
So basically, what actually drives you in terms of like now crypto? Is like really making money or impressing your friends or getting better like with your parents? What's the drive to make yourself successful in the crypto?
Like honestly, it's not impressing friends because I can't care less. But it's not about the money as well. It's just I found that I have very good knowledge, and I understand this very well, and I have a lot of potential. And my priority, my determination, my goal is just to be the best that I can and be at the place I deserve. It's not about the money. It's not about anything else. I believe, with my knowledge at this age, it's not arrogant or anything. Like, I just think I want to get to that, where I want to be. That's it. So it's not about the money or anything else. It's just that sole passion just to be, successful, be who I deserve.
So how
to be.
did you start? What did you create, like consume on the YouTube, internet, or generally? What did you consume the most?
Like when I first started, before crypto, I just used to watch like, gaming videos and like Mr. Beast and whatever. And these guys were like very inspirational in like the content creation world because, they're loved by so many people, especially Mr. Beast. Like he's just full on philanthropic and he's a great guy.
So did he made a lot of impression on you?
He made a lot of impression on me, and I really wanted to do content creation as well. So when I first opened my channel, it was actually like a gaming channel. I used to play Call of Duty and Fortnite, and I just made videos.
Why are you saying used to play? You don't play it anymore?
No, like
you're still playing.
I still play Call of Duty, but like I that's what I used to make videos on. So that was my first channel, and I just did like gameplay videos and whatever. And that's why I had some experience already from like video editing and doing thumbnails and stuff because I did that all by myself.
Do you think that the old generation of yours are doing the same thing, or like you are just a little bit more ahead of them? How would you say in things like content creation and the digitalization of your generation?
I'll tell you something about this. Like currently, the current like generation right now, like the working generation right now, they're used to working like 9 to 5s, and they're at the office, they have a good job, that's the focus. But in my generation and the upcoming generation,
That's the
I
question.
think people are just going to find creative ways of working. They're not going to care about the salary, the money. They're just going to want to do the thing that they enjoy doing the most, like I don't know, doing TikToks or make trading at buying and selling NFTs, or they just want to find maybe easier
So your
ways.
friends are doing that already, or you are like?
No, they're not doing it, but I believe that this is what they will happen after they graduate and whatever. But this will be the way of working. Currently, no one's doing it.
I got you.
So that's what I. So you were also saying like content consumption. So this is where it comes in,
great.
right? So I went. It's hard to find. It was hard to find back then, like proper videos on like what tokens are, what coins are, what blockchain is. It was hard. So I had to go and go back, and there's Da Vinci, who's like a very OG YouTuber,
Amazing.
which I did an interview as well. Go check that out. And he also explained these things very well. So like for example, what a white paper is, it's just like it talks about what the token does, why it's unique to different tokens, and why it's a potentially good investment.
So all these informations you got like from a YouTube creation, you were consumption.
So I understood the basics from the Google and YouTube and whatever, and then once I actually did my own research, like, reading the white paper and whatever. I was taking notes and whatever. And then you start to actually understand it more because you start doing it yourself. So that's very important. You got to, after you learn something, you got to implement it. Otherwise, you won't learn.
So what was your first implementation in the altcoin when you?
It was Polkadot.
Okay.
So I wanted to learn the Polkadot chain, and I remember the white paper for Polkadot. It was like 30 pages or something, and it was like so small writing. And like, God, it was exhausting.
So you consumed it, like you
I
really
consumed it because I thought that I had to. It's good. You need to research a lot of things and whatever, but it's not necessarily reading 30 pages of a white paper, But I ended up doing that, and I actually did invest in a Polkadot chain coin. It didn't do well, so it just goes to show you need to work efficiently, not the most, if that makes sense.
So once you invested in that, you got the knowledge how it's actually done. So this was the first stage, and then like the detailed research. What was the next stage? How would you say?
So as you said, like once you're in the market, once you've actually hold some crypto, then it's just automatically you want to get more involved. You want to learn more because now you're risking something. So it's always important to actually dive in and, I don't know, risk $100 or whatever and be in the market. So you're incentivized to learn more. So I feel that
That's a great advice. I mean, like people, when you invest in the money in something, it makes more interesting in you. So you start understanding in more content and want to learn more. So what was you like in the terms of the technical analysis? Because like, to be honest, the gentleman here is like really ahead of all of us in terms of like finding the right projects and generally analyzing them. And then like, how did you get that right knowledge? What was your curve? Where did you paid some courses or what did you do?
So generally speaking, like when someone says technical analysis, it sounds very complicated, which it is. It's very complicated. And, to be honest with you, there's so many people that, want to learn how to trade and whatever, and they go on YouTube and try to learn. But it's very hard because the information you get, it's very basic. So, in Dubai, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of meetups and whatever. And I started going to them. And I met a gentleman called Tone Vase, and he's a very good technical analyst, and he's also on YouTube. And when I said I want to learn more, I want to learn properly. I want to lay it out because when you go onto YouTube, it's just all over the place.
Right.
Like you can't consume it in a specific order. So he was like, okay, I have this course. And
how did you build the trust that you have this course? A lot of courses are on the market and everybody's like, oh, it's a scamming or this. How did you know? Okay, this guy you met in person, so give you this credibility, right?
Yeah.
But like, how people can engage with some kind of good content that they can learn actually out of it and get the value.
So obviously I met the guy in person, right? I met the guy and we talked, and he showed me what I should watch, which ones I should get. So obviously that's why it was a right push, but obviously not everyone will have that opportunity to meet the person. So what I'd suggest is, right, there's a lot of scams out there too. There's a lot of fake courses that people force you to buy. So my suggestion to you is that try find content from the people you already love to watch and you believe that actually give you good content. Because there's so many BS YouTubers out there, like one day where Bitcoin is going down to $10,000, the other day we're going to $1 million. So you got to find the people that do genuine content and try to consume the most from them.
Right. Great advice. Thank you. So basically, what can you tell to the people where they, the main point about the video consumption on the YouTube of the general public is like how to get rich overnight, right?
Yeah.
So you said the right thing, that there is not such a thing. Like it's a really hard path.
You cannot get rich overnight. Don't look, I am 14 and I'm doing pretty well, but it's not like that. You got to put in hours and hours in research, and you got to lose a lot of money as well, because that's a part of the learning experience. You can't just make significant amount of.
So let's go disclaim it that your father is helping you with all this.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. because I can't trade, right? So I just do all the analysis, and I just tell him, "Can you press the button?" So that's what I do.
Yeah.
I just do the analysis, and he just does it for me.
And what's the aim for your, like, let's say, education on the CryptoEfe you have on YouTube as a channel? What do you want to succeed in that kind of content creation?
So I want to say the reason why I first of all opened the channel, because in the beginning I wasn't too keen on doing that, because it's too much work. You gotta have discipline, you gotta upload daily, and it's hard. So, but then I realized, being 14, I have this, very unique marketing potential. So, and the people around me were like, "Come
Right.
on, just open a channel, open a channel." So I decided to open a channel, and I have an acting background as well. So
Great.
it was very easy for me
Synergy.
to, entertain the audience and build a connection.
Definitely. You have that right energy to succeed. No question, you're already successful. Like, it's just pure impressive skill sets what you put together. And so let me just put the premise. If how would you say, if you cannot explain to 6 years old,
Yeah.
then you don't know by yourself. So
Exactly.
can you tell a little bit, like, as a age difference? I'm not too much older than you, but I'm still older than you. But the gap is between me and 6 years older much, much bigger than between you and 6 years old.
Exactly.
So what would you say to the people, like, how did you understand, and as your generational perspective for the industry of blockchain?
The funny thing is, the most people, the percentage of people that watch my channel is actually between 35 and 45.
Of course.
My aim is initially to like teach the younger generation. So that's my initial aim. But so how I grasped it is I don't know. I always had this. I was very interested in finance from an early age, as I told you. So when I found out about crypto and I actually learned the fundamentals and why it's even exists, it just made a lot of sense on why it's going to change traditional finance and why we're very early. Because like every 15 years, there's a new product or a new technology. There's something new that comes out every 15 years. Like before crypto, it was the internet. Before internet, it was the phone. Before the phone, it was whatever. So every 15 years, you have a chance to get into something early. So when I also found out about that, I was like, okay, well, I guess this is it. So that just drives me to learn more and, invest in the space.
Great. So in terms of, like, why should people care about, like, blockchain and crypto, as it means to you so much for your future? Why should people care about that industry?
Well, simply, everyone should care because it's going to be in just like how the mobile phone, seemed completely different, and how the internet, before the dot-com bubble, how like the internet seemed like, oh, it's useless and whatever, it's not going to do anything, no one's going to use it. And then we had this huge bubble, just like the current bubble in crypto. And then we have only Amazon and Google and whatever that survived. It's the same right now, so many might die off, but we're still going to have Bitcoin. But, back to the question, after the dot-com bubble, the internet was implemented into everyone's lives. Like everyone uses their phone. So in the future, everything is going to be on the blockchain, either supply chain, either anything else. So
let me tell you something. Like, in terms of this, everything will be on blockchain. People don't understand
what blockchain is.
Yes,
exactly.
So let's go lower down the conversation. These 6 years old people, that they are like, okay, everything will be on the blockchain, everything will be on the internet. What does it mean everything will be? Like, I understand it from a generational perspective. You see it, but people don't see it. And what does it mean Web3? What gives them value that everybody will be on Web3?
So blockchain, in terms of blockchain, like think of it like this, okay? If you were to, I'm going to go into supply chain because that's a big thing, which I think will be impacted by blockchain. What you can do is if you somehow put your milk that you drink every single day, okay, and you can put that on the blockchain and track it through the blockchain, you can see before buying that milk where it has been, where it's been shipped to, where it's been made, how long it stayed in a storage unit, and then you can know where that milk has actually been. There's a lot of metaphors for this. There's a lot of comparisons you can do, but that's initially what blockchain will do.
So you're talking about traceability, let me put it.
Yeah, you can put credibility, like even in the watch world, right? You're buying a Rolex, like a vintage Rolex, let's say, and you don't know if it's authentic, and that gets traded between hands so many times. And if you make that as an NFT or put it in the blockchain, then once you purchase the watch, you want the NFT along with it so you can verify its authenticity. So blockchain will just make everything public and trustworthy, if that makes sense.
So why should I trust this technology? Why are you saying that it's so revolutionized?
I mean, in the beginning as well, like it's scary for a lot of people. The reason why a lot of people aren't already invested or using blockchain, it's because it's scary. There's so many different things. Like there's gas, there's transactions. It's so much to learn about, right? That's what's scary about it. That's why people crazy. Like
and
no
the
one
media is like pumping it. It's like a big deal. But what can you do with the complete new technology right now? It's gonna be always up and down. So once it's gonna get a little bit more regulated and more stable, yes, then the institutions and people can more on a massive scale.
Like I saw this as the next big thing. And when I joined, like if you imagine a scale like this, like when I joined, it was here. And we're not that far off from that right now. It's still very early. Like only 4-5% of the world is adopting crypto, and there's still 95 other percent. So when I joined, I was like, okay, this is the next big thing. And if I get in now, then it's going to be crazy in the future. So I was like, okay, I can't waste more time. So I want to get in right now. That's what drove me in.
I got your point. So in terms of like, you got 100% involved in this.
Yeah.
But like, what if you are seeing it as a revolution? It doesn't go that way. It goes reverse.
Look, right now it's being manipulated, right? Along with stocks and everything. It's just under government control. And the reason for that, it's because it's not big enough, right? Eventually it will become big enough. And right now, don't look at the prices. Don't look at the evaluations. I just want to right now, especially in bear markets, right? Focus on the technology, because the technology itself, away from the trading, away from its price, it's revolutionary, right? There's nothing that has been like this before. So if you focus on building, all right, not trading, not investing, just building in the space and learning how to code in Web3, like it's like 10 years ago being able to do artificial intelligence, and there was a very small niche, but now if you can do AI, then you're very valuable. And like now if you can learn the coding skills in Web3 in 10 years time, it'll be massive. So I don't believe it's going to go to zero. Even if there's a recession and everything crashes, it will recover. Eventually it will recover.
Like a blockchain industry, you believe, right?
Yeah.
And then the Bitcoin. I love your hat. So yes. The Bitcoin is
it's his gift.
Thank you very much. So it's like a Bitcoin established himself as a cryptocurrency, as a digital asset.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you, the digital asset, in your generation, in your eyes?
In my eyes, it's software. Okay, it's because Bitcoin's blockchain, it's a software. It's not a currency. It's not like the dollar. It's not like the lira or whatever. Yeah. It's software, and its use is for transactions. It's software that can be used for transactions like modern money, and it's limited supply. It can't just be printed out of nowhere. There's a limited set supply. But people say that there's no tangibility or whatever, but it gives you financial transparency. That's what it produces. So in the very long term, right, in very hyperinflationary countries, they can't go back to trading with gold coins. Like you cannot do that. You can't go back, and everything is on your mobile phone. So it's just easy for me to I can't open a bank account at 14, but I can open a digital wallet. And my employer, not an employer, anyone can send me crypto, parent, and I can just transact with my phone immediately. And there's so many people that cannot have open bank accounts out there. So when Bitcoin comes in, like if you look at like the bolivars in Venezuela, right? Basically, to buy a piece of bread, you had like stacks of bolivars.
Oh my God!
So how will you transact? So Bitcoin is your solution.
Great. Honestly, I would love to finish this conversation with you. This was really knowledgeable from your perspective on terms of like a generational, like really your knowledge and everything will be bringing the value to the industry. And looking forward to work with you and stay in touch. Listen, guys, check him out on CryptoEfe in YouTube. You will see there will be in descriptions a lot of key points to check about him. And I'm seeing a bright future, not just like because it's a bright future of the blockchain, but you as a person, as a 14 years old, really, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you
and
for having
looking
me, man.
forward to see you soon. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Guys, keep on watching these podcasts. It's going to be brilliant. I believe in this series a lot. So check out my channel as well. And hope to see you guys in the next video.
Thank you. This is the CryptoEfe acting skills. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.